Hello YouTube, it's Harry from HTL Finance and welcome back to yet another video. Well, this will make for 2 videos in 2 weeks, so trying to keep the cadence up on this. Thanks for the support. And as you can see, I'm recording in golden hour. You can see there's a lovely yellow tinge to everything, but I think this is something I want to keep up. I thought as the first video I did was a more broad video on Trading212, I thought I would zone in on one change that they've done within the last couple of weeks, and that is how the rate of return is shown in the app, as this has caused a lot of controversy. So I think it's a really interesting topic to make a video on. For any users of the app, you would have noticed that over the last couple of weeks there was a quite significant app update where they changed the way that you move between your different accounts, like your invest account, your CFD account. And one of these changes was a rate of return percentage, which I think for most people would have been a lot higher than what it was previously. So again, got my iPad here to run through everything, but if you see on the screen, which will be overlaid, you can see in the top left I have a total return of £231 on a portfolio value of just over £15,000. And a rate of return shown of 2.7%. Previously, this would have been different. So if I go to my calculator, if you actually do the maths, 231 over 15 grand roughly is 1.5%. So why are we now seeing 2.7% shown here? It is also important to say that the returns and the values are explained in Trading2 when you actually click on the rate of return. So it says that total return is total profit from your profit or loss from your activity, including investment, performance, dividends, interest, FX fee, government taxes, and more. And as for someone like me, who I'd said in the video last week holds a lot of cash balances, what they've done is merge the investment return in terms of your stocks and shares that you hold, for example, with what you get back on your cash, which that I think is a good change from my perspective. But I've seen people say that they don't like that. And I think really the best thing is to give people the option to toggle on and off, which isn't currently in the app. What is in the app is a cog button, which on the right of where it says max. If you click on that, this is again something new, which allows you to see the net deposits. So I can see net deposits of $14,950. That's the amount that I've put in or out of the app. And that's what the return is against, with 15,000 number against that 14,000 number. This is important as when you click on the rate of return button, it says rate of return represents the percentage of growth or loss adjusted for the size and timing of the individual investments and withdrawals using the MWRR money weighted rate of return method, as opposed to, as I showed before, doing simple percentage return. This is in contrast to using time-weighted rate of return, which is the other option they could have gone with, which is less focused on the amounts per se, but more about how long you have had an investment for. I think the good thing about money-weighted is you can calculate your money-weighted, and then by dividing that or considering the time periods, you can then convert that into an annualized money-weighted rate of return. So I think there is flexibility there. It says older and larger investments have a greater impact on your rate of return than recent or smaller ones. So if we go back to my percentage in my circumstance, obviously it's quite low because I hold cash and I'm not doing anything overly risky, so I wouldn't expect this to be an incredibly high number. But the 2.7 in this case is higher than the 1.5 I'd shown before. Because when we look at my deposits, and this is why I'd shown that, we can see that 2003, 4, 7. So I've only had the full 14,950 in there for the last week or so. So to put the total return against a figure that I've only had for about a week in, say, a 9-month period would be understating, the rate of return. So to say what money-weighted rate of return is trying to do is to basically increase the rate of return that's shown by making sure that the periods where I had 4,000, 3,000, 2,000s are represented. So that's why the 2.7 is higher than the 1.5, and this is Trading212's selling point for showing these numbers in this format as opposed to using what went previously and a very basic rate of return method. The thing that I've got on screen here, and this is something that has been updated on my iPad app, I don't know, it's updated on the web app, and I've seen people say that updated on Android also, but on my iPhone, don't currently see, but on the right side it says asset value, and we now have a new window where if you go to your asset allocation, more details, you see this window on the right which gives you the unrealized results and the cost basis, and the cost is the total amount that you have invested. A realized result at the top basically gives you the amount that if you were to fully liquidate your investment portfolio, the impact that that would have. This is obviously, this unrealized result is merged and included in the total return you have in the top left. This basically just shows the amount that you have floating on the market and subject to, I guess, volatility, as opposed to just what you have in cash that we would take as being safe and stable. 212 actually has a link explaining the changes that have happened recently in terms of MWRR, and I'll try and remember to link this down below so you can read this webpage. But it goes through the portfolio charts that we've discussed, the return, which we've discussed as well, and then what is MWRR, which we've also explained. It does say here it gives you a personalised return that reflects your unique investment journey, and that's the angle that they're going with. Say that is true. I think for people that want better, something more personalised, or to track things in a way that they definitely understand and can resonate with in terms of tracking back numbers, tracking your investment returns via an Excel spreadsheet is probably a much better approach for most people than this. And I think that's what a lot of people did previously and will continue to do post this update. The different rates of return methods don't necessarily work the best based on different people's trading habits and trading approaches, strategies. If you say swing trade, or if you have very different short-term trades or long-term trading, may make the actual percentage that it shows more or less relevant for different people. So I think it is good to say that this isn't the be-all and end-all, this one measurement. Another thing to say is, in terms of using it as a performance metric, it is only focused on the rate of return. There's no measure of volatility or any other risk. So it is limited in terms of what it actually does represent, and it really, in terms of you yourself looking and evaluating your portfolio and its performance, you really should use that alongside other metrics and measures to decipher and decide how well you're doing and measure and benchmark against that. Website, the good thing is they do give some specific examples of how this works. Why there's no link to this in the actual app or where it says the rate of return, I find slightly strange, because this is a really good way of visualizing an amount that in the app itself is not overly well explained. Two examples here: adding money, withdrawing money. These are sorts of things that I've pretty much explained, and as it says, the key benefits of MWRR, which are somewhat up for debate, but I do think personally that this update in terms of the app is heading in the right direction. That's it for today's video. I do want to keep these videos really direct and to the point, and that's something I'm trying to work towards, is them being really focused, quick, easy to digest, and not full of waffle. With saying that, please put any comments you have down below. Please like, subscribe. The support of the channel is really appreciated, and really want to grow the channel aligned with what people want to see. So please, any specific things you want covered, put them in the comments below. That would be really appreciated. Well, in saying that, hopefully I'm going to make 3 for 3, make a video next week, and I'll see you next time.